In today's video, I want to give you guys an account update. I want to give you guys an account update, but also I want to go through, like what happened during October, and so you can see the account as I break even this account. But the 10K account we had, so this 10K account we had, we blew it. We hit the daily loss limit, and this really brought me down. It brought me down a lot because I just didn't have the psychology in check. I wasn't following my trading model, and I thought, like I wasn't gonna make any trading. I thought, it really brought my confidence down whenever I'm trading. It still hunts me to this day because of the risk. We put too much risk on. We weren't following the system. We weren't following, our trading, and we deviated away from it, and we got wrecked. We didn't plan enough. So this is kind of what I want to talk to you guys about. I want to talk to you guys what I plan on doing to recover from this and have a better month for November. And again, it all stems from rushing the process. I'm talking to somebody on Discord, one of my friends, and I just, he keeps telling me, like, if you rush the process, you're gonna get to the destination later than you should. Or yeah, along the lines there, whenever you rush, you make mistakes that you shouldn't. If you simply just have patience, you will get there, and that's something I'm just working on. And the main reason why I rush is because I want to have capital. I want to be, making, payouts, doing this full time, having a consistent edge in the market. I just keep thinking like in a fantasy where I just won't lose or I just won't incur losses. I just risk so much, I trust my system so much, like I'm going to risk this amount and I'm not going to lose, or, this setup looks better than the last one I took. I just have so much confidence in this setup that is not going to lose, and just certain things like that. It just makes me lose. I don't want to lose no more by not following my system, Of course, I want to be a discretionary trader like I talked about. But for right now, at this time, in this moment, I need to be mechanical. And then eventually we can start to expand from there. Because once I deviated away from my mechanical strategy, I don't do the things I need to do. I don't trust my intuition anymore. I lose confidence. I don't trust the setups I take anymore. So then I risk less. Then I don't make the same amount and my losses are bigger than my wins. Once you start winning a little bit, you start getting euphoric, you start getting confident, and then eventually, boom, it goes away when you lose. And then you feel discouraged, you feel lost, you feel helpless. And then eventually once you do take a win, it won't be much because again, the losses are hunting you. And that's kind of why I like being a more of a mechanical strategy trader right now, because every setup I take, I have to wait for certain criteria to be met to then eventually be able to take the setup. Of course, being discretionary is different. I like being discretionary. I think being discretionary requires more intuition, requires more experience, requires more time on the charts every single day. And I want to get to that stage, at one point in my trading. But for right now, I know that at this current point in my trading, I should not be trying to, rush the process, being a discretionary trader. Right now, simply just stick to your rules, stick to your plans, being a mechanical trader. And through the long run, from the data I've collected, if we simply just stick to our rules, stick to our strategy, we will be successful using a mechanical strategy that we have. There's just no point in trying to deviate away from it, There's no point in trying to rush the process by not following the mechanical strategy. Of course, the mechanical strategy requires more criterias in order for it to be more of an A+ setup, and it does not occur every single day. That means it won't be able to find a trade every single day. That's kind of another thing too, like I want to find a trade every single day. I want to be able to trade every single day. I feel like there's setups every single day, price is fractal, the market moves up and down, and I'm going to be able to find a trade every single day. But from this current stage right now in my trading, I know I shouldn't be trying to take a trade every single day. Why? Because less is more. The more trades you take, the more likely you are to lose. So I wanted to eliminate that from my mind of having an expectation of trying to trade every single day. And again, I'm going to continue to learn how to be more discretionary using demo. I'm going to use demo. I'm not going to really try to risk from the prop firm capital. And again, that's another thing too. I don't have much prop firm capital, if I'm being real. I want to be risking more. I want to be doing this, passing these accounts. So we're going to go through the risk management trade here from everything else. This is following our system right now, okay? This is discretionary risk management right here. Stop using the mechanical strategy once we find some profitability and we continue to scale from there. If we want to go to discretionary, we can use that. But of course, we're going to have some results, some backtesting results, data collected, some demo trading results also, So once you're discretionary, or if I become discretionary later on in life, I want to use this risk management strategy right here, which is going to be 1% risk until we have 2% or more. 2% or more, we risk 2% until we have 4%. This is, of course, using prop firms. If I'm live account or, if I'm personal capital, this is all going to be different, But again, 4% or more, we risk 4% until we pass, okay? And then if we lose 1% off of the first trade, risking 1%, we cut the risk to 0.5, and then we try to make it all the way back up to break even, to then eventually start risking 1% again. But if we lose the 0.5 two times, we cut the risk to 0.25, and we try to get back to break even, to then eventually risk 1% or more. But after we reach that negative 1%, we can start going back up to 0.5. So that's pretty much discretionary wise, but that doesn't apply to me right now. I'm not really trying to be a discretionary trader. My main goal is to simply be mechanical. And I'm going to go over what makes my trading strategy more high probability, because again, we went through the trading mistakes on October, and I'm going to review the trades here with you. So in the beginning of the year, or I mean in the beginning of the month, you can see here we're doing really well until we started to deviate away from our trading mechanical strategy. You can see here we find one trade here, one trade here, one trade here, one trade here, and then we started to trade multiple times throughout the last couple of weeks of the year, or I mean of the month. So towards right here, the third and fourth week, we started to deviate away from our trading strategy, which is something I'm not proud of. You know, like if I simply stuck to my mechanical strategy, I would have probably passed phase one, probably passed phase two, and gotten a payout. If I'm being truly honest, with these trades right here, this one right here, not taking partials, boom, that would have been phase one passed. This trade right here, not moving stops to break even so soon, trade two passed. This trade right here, not cutting so soon, boom, payout, funded. This is where you're funded, boom, payout. And of course, this is using the risk management strategy here, where we're going to be using this mechanical strategy, risk management here. So when trading our model, aim for a 1 to 2, break even after 1 to 1. I've been thinking about not even moving the stops to break even. I'm still debating about it, of course. So, and then 4% per trade idea. When down 4%, we cut the risk to 2%, and we just aim to get back to break even. And then eventually we're aiming to risk 4% or more. And then rules to make the trading model more high probability. So it's going to be like this, but of course I went through every single one of my winning trades, and I distinguished what makes these winning trades winners. Lower time frame entry model on the 3-minute, usually right here, is an inversion fair value gap. It's not the 22 or unicorn model. It's an inversion, usually where we're trying to catch the reversal. Usually it can be at an equilibrium of the range, or it can be, usually majority of the time it is off of an internal array. So it isn't usually like a full reversal where we catch the top or a bottom. Usually whenever we retrace, then we're starting to bounce off of that PD array near equilibrium or at a discount. That's usually where we catch majority of our trades. It's not really a full reversal where we catch the bottom or top, or we're turtle swooping or anything like that. That's more advanced CRT. Of course, I want to use that later on in life once we have more skill, more capital, and less risk on the table. You know, right now we have more risk. And then I have two confirmational CRTs. It can either be on one of these time frames. It can be on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15. Usually majority of the time it is on like a 1 hour and a 15, or a 4 hour and a 15. That's usually the best trades. So I'm going to try to stick to these rules, implement them into my trading, so then I can have more confidence when I'm taking the trades with 4% of risk. And of course, I'm going to be a man of my word. I'm going to continue to use this. I'm going to continue to follow this approach. I'm not going to deviate away from it, right? Every time you see me take a trade or a trade recap, is going to be using these confluences here. Anything less, I'm going to just continue to taper read, sit on my hands, and be patient. My best trades are following this system. Of course, the trade frequency isn't very high. I find one trade a week. I'm cool with that. Finding one trade a week to pass phase one or pass phase two is better than just finding multiple trades throughout the week, losing, winning, losing, winning, losing, winning. No, I'd rather just take one good quality setup, pass the account, and then wait for next week to pass phase two, and then the third week we get a payout, and then continue to do that and scale up. Of course, not every trade is going to work out. If we have the probabilities, a high chance by following these rules, like a high chance and a high probability of doing that, then of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be very scalable. But of course, the frequency and the timing is going to have to require more patience. And that's something I'm willing to succumb to at this time. I know if I want to get to that stage where I have 6 figs funding, or by the end of this year, 6 figs funding, I know it's going to have to require more patience, focusing on distinguishing what quality setups I want to be risking, and just knowing that I have to be comfortable with only risking or only taking one trade per week. Knowing that, like the best traders I know usually only take 1 or 2 setups a week, which equate to like 4 to 6 trades a month. If you really look at it, the statistics, the best traders usually only do that. And of course, putting less risk on the table or less trades means you have a less likelihood of losing. And I want to eliminate that by following these rules, eliminating any possibility of losing. Of course, losses are inevitable, but if you're unable to prevent them from happening by having the highest probability in your favor, why not do that? So yeah, and then usually trading at a 50% of the higher time frame CRT, which is like the 4 hour, the 15. Not really on the 15 minute, but mainly on these higher time frame, intermediate term time frame time frames. And then having the 15-minute CRT makes it A++. So having a 15-minute CRT is majority of the time what I'm trying to aim for. But if I don't, I try not to aim for a trade that doesn't have a 15-minute CRT. I try to aim for trades, like that do have a 15-minute CRT, because I realize majority of the time whenever we do have a 15-minute CRT, it just provides so much more high probability with speed to the trade idea. And it just gives the lower time frame conviction, more conviction. Or the lower time from entry, more conviction, I should say. Taking only one trade, New York AM session. Finding a trade from 8 to 12. Only these markets right here. From Euro, GBP, Dixie, NASDAQ, US30, and SPX. That's it. The indices, I know I can't risk that much. With Forex pairs, I know I can risk more. So here, I'm going to have to just be a little bit more, just taking my profits here with, 1 to 2. I know I can't risk more than 4% here. So again, here on the indices, I do tend to risk a little bit less because the leverage isn't there as much. But, if we're not risking 4%, just taking the 1 to 2 and being fine with that, I guess. So yeah, not really being worried about it, especially on the 3-minute though. If we have a 3-minute confluence, usually we can aim for 1 to 2 and or a little bit more, and it does give us that, you know, close to like 8% win. But if not, you know, Forex will provide that for sure. So I know Euro and GBP will provide that. So again, just looking for setups on multiple markets. It doesn't really matter, but these are my main focus. Best trades have an internal resistance array along with the CRT on both higher time frame and the lower time frame. So suppose we have a 4-hour buy side imbalance and a CRT retracing to the 50%, and then the 15-minute time frame forms like a 15-minute inversion fair value gap there, bouncing off, or like, you know, showing a sign of reversal off of that 4-hour buy side imbalance. Then eventually, if it forms an you know, I'm gonna show you guys like, you know, say we have an inversion fair value gap here form right here, like say we close above, we form a CRT here on the 15-minute time frame. It provides so much more context. And then on the 4-hour time frame, if we have a 4-hour buy side imbalance here and then a CRT, you know, reaching to the 50%, that provides a trade idea of much more like high conviction. Of course, it won't happen every single time, but if we try to look for those are one of the best trades. And then add weekly power 3, weekly profiles, daily profiles, or daily power 3 plus market structure, you know, to provide the context on the trade ideas even more. So that's kind of what I'm trying to add here. And then we're already profitable. Just practice the habits. That's it. Use the 3-minute for entry, which I already talked about. Focus on less markets. That's another thing too. And then of course, updating more videos, some different style. Also implementing short form. So I'm going to be doing that very, very soon. Hopefully you guys are enjoying those videos. Or these videos I've been uploading, but we're gonna have a little bit more videos to be uploading soon. So yeah, and yeah, just these markets really. Main reason why is because we already have SMTs charts loading up on these, and we're just gonna use that for right now on those. Yeah, that's pretty much really it. You can see here the frequency on the dates was very, very low. October 4th, October 10th, October 16th, and then boom, we started trading so many days. And of course, silly mistakes like this where we enter off with the 2-minute instead of the 3-minute. Not doing that, or trading gold right here and, you know, like losing so much, not even trading our system here on the gold trade, which I hate so much that I took it, but I have to learn from it. 4-hour bullish BPR, nice. 1-hour CRT, nice. 15-minute time frame, we had a 15-minute inversion fair value gap there, but we had no CRT form until right here. But even then, the 3-minute was telling us not, you know, no movement yet. Even the 2-minute was screaming it right here. 2-minute inversion fair value up there, no movement to, you know, push you up higher until later on right here. You can see that there, this formed CRT, boom, and then we started to move up higher. This would have been the better trade idea. Even though the 1-hour did get an inverse, we're still inside of the higher time frame 4-hour PDA array. So this 1-hour one really didn't mean much. And then yeah, that would have been the better trade idea. But that was during lunch session. Yeah, it was during lunch session, which isn't really too high probability, but I'm willing to trade lunch. It depends. If we don't find anything in New York AM session, I may stick around for lunch to then find something, but I'm not too sure yet. I'm going to have to wait to experiment. So maybe 8 through 12 is a cutoff time, or 8 through maybe the whole New York session, we try to find something. The main thing I just want to follow is not taking more than one setup and, you know, sticking to my rules. I may just stick to New York AM session, but I may sometimes deviate away from it and trade lunch, because sometimes I do find trades during lunch. Not really during PM session, if I'm being truly honest. It's just sometimes after lunch. But that's pretty much really it, you know. Sticking to my rules, sticking to my setup, sticking to my confluences of this mechanical strategy, and also implementing other things like the weekly profile, the weekly power 3, and the daily profiling and the daily power 3 and plus market structure to make it more high probability, you know. Like, you know, why not add something to make it more high probability, but not changing the rules where I don't deviate away from the model. I want to continue to stick to the model and continue to risk 4%. I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of controversial thoughts about it, but it is what it is. I know my model. I know my system. I know what makes it more high probability. It's just simply just accepting the risk and succumbing to the idea of less is more, taking less setups, which results in less losing. We have to understand that we have to be more patient, we have to follow the rules, and we have to identify what makes it more high probability. And that's what we're doing right now. We're identifying what makes this, you know, model more high probability and just refining it and continue to make it better and better. You know, I've collected data from backtesting, but from the data that I've collected from live trading, we have made the system so much more better from this 1 month of actually trading. This has only been 1 month using this system, this mechanical system. I continue to use it. I will continue to use it for the rest of the year and try to aim for the scaling that I want, which is 6 figures funding, you know? So that's our main goal. That's my main goal. And that's all I'm going to continue to focus on. So yeah, that's pretty much really it. Peace.